we are given an array. This array is of zeros and ones, right? So this is a binary array. We want to bring all the ones together in this array. So we have to shuffle the zeros and the ones.
Okay, together means 1 to the one side and zeros to the other side.
No. Together means that all the ones should be together. All the ones should be consecutive, right?
Okay.
So let's say if I swap this one with this zero, right? Then all the ones will be together.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So we want to bring all the ones together. The question is that what is the minimum number of swap operations that need to be performed to bring all the ones together? So basically, what is the minimum number? What is the minimum number of swap operations required to bring all the ones together in a binary array, right?
So the number of ones at a stretch can be any number. Like we don't have a proper k defined. Like there's no number of ones together as such.
Right. So here we don't have an information of how many ones are there.
Okay.
But that information can be computed in linear time, right? So in linear time, I can find the total number of ones if I want.
Yes.
Right? How can we do it? During the interview, if you read the question from different angles, right? Read the questions in different ways, and you read the question multiple times, right? Then usually something will strike, right?
Okay.
So we can read this question that we want to bring all the ones together, right? Or basically we are looking for an area where will all the ones go? All the ones will go in the area that has maximum number of ones.
Yeah.
So we can find out that there are 4 ones. Ultimately, all the ones will go to will go at a position where there will be 4 ones, right?
Yes, but first we need to find out where the already there are some few more ones on which side, and then move the one which is having less density. Move them to the one having the places where there are more ones.
Right. So either we can find a place where the density of ones is the maximum, or we can find a place where the density of zeros is minimum.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Both are same. Right.
Yes.
So what I'm doing is I'm just reading the question multiple times, right? In a different way, right? So basically we are looking for an area of size 4 where there are maximum number of ones, right?
Okay.
So for example, in these 4 elements, if I want to bring all the ones in at these 4 positions, then I will have to perform 3 swap operations because there are 3 zeros, right?
Yes.
Similarly, if I want to bring all the ones in this particular at these positions, then I will have to perform 4 swap operations because there are 4 zeros, right? Similarly, if I want to, let's say, so I'm just
okay, so initially we are counting the number of total ones, and that is our sliding window. And so that number, the number of ones is actually our sliding window. And then
you mean size of the sliding window?
Yeah, size of the sliding window.
Right.
And then first we have to find the sliding window which is having the maximum number of ones or less number of zeros, minimum number of zeros.
Right. So basically, what you are saying is that first you will count the total number of ones, right?
Yes.
Let's say total number of ones are k. Now you will find a window of size k that has maximum number of ones.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So finding k is very easy, right?
Yeah.
We just need a for loop for this, right? So
yes.
For integer I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. You can just say that k is equal to a of I, right? In this particular case. Now the k will be 4. So what we will do is that we will find the total number of ones in the first window
Yes.
of size k. The total number of ones in the first window of size k is 2, right?
Yeah.
Then what we do is that we shift the window. So when you shift the window, one element will be moving out of the window and one element will be entering the window.
Correct. Yeah.
So we will track the element which is moving out and the element which is coming in. If the element that is moving out is a 1, then number of ones in the window will decrease. And if
Yes.
the element that is moving in the window is 1, then number of ones in the window will decrease, right?
Okay.
So if both of them are 1, then the number of ones will remain the same. If both of them are 0, then also the number of ones remain the same. Otherwise, the number of ones will be adjusted accordingly, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
here this 0 is moving out and this 1 is entering. So the number of ones in the next window will be 1 more than the number of ones in the previous window,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And we will keep a track of what is the maximum,
Number.
what is the window of maximum ones, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And the maximum number of ones will be 3. So our answer will be k minus 3, 4 minus 3, which is 1. These many swap
Okay.
operations, right?
So keeping track of the window which is having the largest number of ones. So we'll keep track of the starting index of that window.
In this case, probably we don't need that, right? In this case, what do we want? We want the minimum number of swap operations. We don't want to perform the swap, right?
Mhm.
So if you want to perform the swapping, then you want to keep a track of which is the actual window, right? Here we
Okay.
are not here we are not. We don't want the actual window. Here we just want. We will be returning the number of swap operations which are required, right?
Oh,
So
okay, okay. Only
number of swap operations essentially means number of zeros in the window.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah.
So we will be keeping a track of which window has the minimum number of zeros, and that minimum number of zeros, that count of zeros is our answer,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But the question can be asked in a different way. So in a variation of this question, maybe you will need that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So basically, as I said earlier, also sometimes the concept or the data structure which will apply in a particular question may not be very intuitive, in the sense that here it is not very intuitive that sliding window will be applied. In the previous question, it was very intuitive that sliding window will be applicable, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what happens is that there are very few data structures and there are very few algorithms, right? There are limited number of data structures. How many data structures are there? Hardly 10 data structures, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, how many algorithms are there? Hardly 20 algorithms, right?
Yeah.
I mean popular algorithms, not otherwise number of algorithms can be huge, but the popular algorithms or popular concepts are very few, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we read the question in different ways, so one of the approaches will strike us, right?
Yeah, correct.
So basically, what we are doing is that we are preparing for unknown questions, right? We are not trying to find the solution of the known questions, right? We are not trying to remember the questions, right? Because you can assume that during the interview, the question which will be asked is going to be a completely unknown question, or it is going to be a variation of the question which you have already done, but it is not. It may not be the direct question, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So we should prepare ourselves for solving completely unknown problems.